Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my best of 2022. So I tried a lot of products this year, a little bit of skincare, hair care, a lot of makeup, a lot of eyeshadow palettes, and I've gathered up all of my favorite products to go over with you. This isn't going to be a ranking. I'm not going to like sort them by least favorite to favorite. They're all things I love, so I'm just going to go through them category by category. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Colin. I'm a non-binary Latinx scientist and lover of makeup with a soft spot for indie makeup and colorful makeup. And you will definitely see a lot of that in this video. And I have new content every week, so I'd love to have you subscribe. And this is Bean. This is my puppy. She's been very needy and was barking and running around as I tried to start filming. So I figured I would pick her up and hold her for a minute because apparently she needed some attention. So I'm gonna go put you down because you're kind of heavy. So this is probably one of the last videos I'm filming for the year. This will probably go up pretty soon, like this weekend, but I already filmed a bunch of other content, so I'm gonna have stuff going pretty much every day until Christmas. And then I might have one more video the week after, right before New Year's, and then early January. But I'm probably not gonna be filming for the next couple weeks, or I'll be pre-filming or something. So this is gonna be a long video because I have a lot of products in front of me. So I would recommend grabbing a snack or a drink or something and just hanging out because this is a long one, kind of like my declutter was. I have a lot of products here, mostly eyeshadow because that is my weakness. I didn't grab really all of my favorites. There were definitely other palettes over the year that I really did like, but these were like my favorites. So the ones that I keep grabbing for. So starting with skincare, I don't really review skincare on this channel because skincare is so personal. I can definitely start talking about my skincare routine and what I've done over the last few years to really help my skin. If you would like that, let me know in the comments below. But I do want to mention a few products here that I've been really loving this year. The first couple things, and I've mentioned these on my channel multiple times, and especially in the last few months, are the Refer skincare products. So I have both the light and the heavy hydration cream. I also tried the hydration cream version 1.0. It is my favorite moisturizer. I've tried other ones. I've tried expensive ones, cheap ones. I like a gel moisturizer. I don't think cream ones tend to they don't sink into my skin very well. I feel like I'm wearing a mask. So I do like the heavy one for night because that's when I want like a night mask or something. But for during the day, I like a gel texture to a moisturizer. And I've tried expensive like Clinique and things like that. This is my favorite by far. You get a lot of product. It's only like 20 something dollars. Works really well. It's fragrance free, essential oil free. It's got some really good skincare ingredients like niacinamide and squalene. Really love this. This is like my third. I think I had like 3 or 4 of the original one, and this is my first full size of this one, and I have 3 more because I just bought a bunch. So really love this. The other thing from Refer that I really love is the rebalancing essence. Essences and toners are pretty much the same thing. This one is really nice. I just got a backup of this during their sale as well, so this is on its way. This has glycerin, which is pretty much the best ingredient for helping hydration in the skin. Niacinamide, it's got some other really good ingredients that are supposed to help with your skin's moisture barrier and protecting that, which is very important, especially if you're using active ingredients like retinols. Not that badly priced. I think this is like 30 something, and then once you buy it once, you don't have to buy the pump again. You just buy a refill for 15. Really good price. Really love this, and I have noticed a difference. I have a toner I like that's separate from this, and I am still using that. I kind of use both, mix them together. I feel like I get better results with my skincare when I use the other toner, because it helps everything kind of soak in. But this has its own ingredients that I like to incorporate. So I put this on first. It's very watery and runny, but like one of the ways I know it's helping and not just other stuff is oftentimes I'll have a little extra on my skin and I'll just kind of like do this. So I have a lot of tattoos, as you can see. And one thing happens pretty regularly is I'll get like a little ingrown hair or zit or something near here. And it's annoying because then I have a bump on my tattoo or tattoos. But I've had that almost completely go away since using that, and that's just from like a little bit going like this. So really helping helping my razor burn and facial issues as well. So very happy about that. The other skincare thing that I want to mention is the Kosas Plump and Juicy Vegan Collagen Spray-On Serum. So this is my second bottle of this. They sent this to me in PR the first time, and then I bought another one during Black Friday, and it came right in time for the first one to be emptied. I love this. So it's supposed to be a plumping, lifting, vegan collagen serum, but you spray it instead of, you know, putting it on your hands and your face. It's got soothing extracts in it. It's got probiotics and stuff in it, but it feels so nice. We took a trip to LA for my birthday, and we didn't bring this because it was so big. Didn't fit in the carry-on and the little liquid bag. They just released a holiday kit that has a mini version of this, so I bought it for travel because I missed it while we were there. Waking up in the morning and spraying it on my face. I do it in my skincare, but there's some days where I just spray it on first thing if I'm not gonna shower right away. And it helps so much. I feel more awake from the spray, from the mist of it, but also like my skin looks better and it like instantly hydrates. And it's so good. Really, really love this. And the little mini set that I got, it's like, it looks identical, but it's this big. And then it comes with a full size of the lip plumper, which I'll mention here as well. This is the Plump and Juicy Collagen Lip Boost. So it's a lip treatment / lip mask. I wear it like a lip balm during the day. I wear it as a lip balm at night. It's almost gone. They sent this to me as well, and now I have a backup. Really love this. It's not a plumping, like tingling plumping kind of thing. It's one of those things where the vegan collagen and other ingredients just make your lips look more plump and full and really healthy, and it's really nice. And I like that you can get the little set with both of them. And then for hair care, I wanted to mention the products from JVN in general, but especially the air dry cream. This is my second bottle. I already have 2 more. I bought one and they sent me, like there was like a bonus, so you got extra products. So I have 2 more backups, which is nice. I love this. I have very curly hair. It's actually less curly than it was when I was younger, if you can believe that, but I did chemically straighten it for like a decade as a teenager and early 20s. But it works really well as an air dry cream, like putting in wet hair and letting it just dry naturally and looking nice. I also put it in after, if I diffuse my hair, I'll put it in afterwards because I used something else before. And just results are great. My hair feels nicer, the curls are looking better. It's just really, really nice. And it's not heavy like a lot of curl cream kind of products are. So I really recommend it. A lot of curl cream products kind of build up and they weigh your hair down. This adds curl and texture and healthiness without the weight. I also really like the Blowout Milk and some of their other products. I use those before I diffuse, and my husband uses them. And like they're at Sephora. You can also buy them from JVN's website, and they're, you know, a celebrity brand, but they're really good products and they're not that expensive. Like the shampoo and conditioner are great, and they're much cheaper than the Living Proof ones I was buying before. Okay, so on to makeup. I'm gonna start with, I think, base products and then kind of just work from there. It's going to be the Milk Makeup Pore Eclipse Primer. So this is a mattifying primer, and it's the first one I've ever liked. It does mattify, but not too much. My skin looks really smooth and perfect with it when I use it around here. The only place I get oily is my nose, so I pretty much just use it right here, and I really love it. But there's also like, I got it during the summer when it came out. I got the little one. I'm gonna need a new one soon. And it, even days where I wasn't wearing makeup, I would just put a little bit all over my face. It feels very cooling and smoothing, and it's, again, a gel texture. The reason I don't like most other mattifying products is they're like silicone dimethicone based, and you can feel that. Like the e.l.f. Putty Primer is the bane of my existence. The feeling and texture of that I just feel it on my face, so it makes my face feel greasy and gross. I've tried the Benefit one, I've tried a lot of those, and I've hated most of them, all of them. This is the only one that I don't feel on my face and still works. And it's a really nice consistency. I'll put a little bit right here. So you can see it's not quite a gel, but not quite a cream either. It's more gel-like than anything else, and it turns clear right away. And it adds like, there's kind of a cooling feeling as you first put it on and rub it in, and then that goes away, and it just works really well and lasts really nicely. And I even wear it on non-makeup days, like I said. I've also done some tests to see, like, does it actually mattify? So I put it like half my hand or half my face, and you can definitely see a difference. But another product that came out this year that I think got mixed reviews, but I really liked was the new Fenty product. This is the Eaze Drop Lit. So the Eaze Drop is probably my favorite skin tint because it's a very satin, natural finish, like a little matte, but not too matte. This mixed in with it is like the perfect, like just a hint of glow. I think people saw this and thought, oh, it's just because it came out right after e.l.f. duped the Hollywood Flawless filter. And I think people thought, oh, this is another dupe, but it's not. Those have more pigment to them, and they describe themselves as a multi-use product that you can use as a liquid highlighter. You can do this. They never talk about being a liquid highlighter because it's so sheer. They say it's a sheer product that you can wear under your foundation, in your foundation, or alone as just like a sheer wash of glow. And that's what it is. It's a sheer wash of glow. And I think for people who think, I've seen people say that the Hollywood Flawless filter, the Auric Glowless, those things are too shiny, especially if you have more oily skin. This gives you a nice healthy glow, really good hydration, and like those kind of benefits, but it's more subtle. So if those were too glowy for you, this is a good one. If you really like the Hollywood Flawless filter or something like that, you're gonna hate this because it's much more subdued. I like it. I also use Glow Lust a lot. I use them differently. This I use a little bit more as a mix-in because it's so sheer, and I'll often use it on when I don't want to be as glowy as the Auric will make me. But I really do like this. But the Auric does have more tint to it, so I can use that like all over my face and just powder well and have it be like a really sheer tint. This you can't do that with. Okay, so I tried a few different base products, like foundation, skin tint products this year. I liked pretty much all of them. I really like the Salt New York Sneaky Balm. I believe I got that in January. It's been almost a full year. That's one of my top videos on this channel. I really like that for what it is. I can't wear that as an all-day product. It doesn't last long enough on me. None of the salt products really do. If I use a good primer like the Milk Hydro Grip or something, I can get them to last part of a day. But like when we were in Canada at the beginning of the year, I would put some on and go about our day doing stuff, seeing friends, having lunch. And then I'd come back to the hotel room and it would basically be fully worn away, and I would have to reapply, repowder before going to dinner. And so I love that you can't see it, like literally cannot tell that you're wearing any makeup. It just, Sneaky Balm is a good name. It just settles into your skin perfectly. It's the perfect consistency. I just wish it lasted longer, so that's not in this. The two foundations that I want to mention, I also tried the Kosas, and that's nice, but the two that I really love are the Nars Light Reflecting and the Haus Labs. This is my absolute favorite. What I'm wearing, perfect. This I do really like. The color's a little more golden than I am, especially right now. In the summer, this works a little bit better. It's also a little more fuller coverage. They're both supposed to be medium, but I feel like this is more coverage. It's really beautiful. Nars used to call Stromboli their olive color. Now they call it their yellow. And then the one above it in the numbering scheme is referred to as olive, but it's more neutral. It's like golden neutral, and doesn't look quite olive enough on me. There's like too much peach or something in it to not be like a perfect olive. So that's why I got this one. And I had two people at Sephora shade matching me and helping me, and they also said this was the best. It disappears into my forehead perfectly, so it does work. But yeah, their shade range is a little weird. And the fact that they changed that is a little confusing, but I do really like this. I just haven't worn it as much since I got this. This is my perfect shade match. It is literally my skin in a bottle. I'm wearing it today. I wear it most days. I have already used like that much of it. You can kind of see there's a line because I'll wear it as a full face. I'll mix it with my Glow Lust for basically a skin tint. I'll mix it with the Fenty stuff for basically a skin tint. Or I can actually get a skin tint effect with this by just doing like less than a pump, like a little bit less than a pump, using my fingers and then just spreading it all over. It's perfect. The finish is supposed to be natural finish, but I would say it's like not radiant, but like healthy. You have like a healthy glow to your skin, but you can definitely mattify it down a little bit. Really love it. I think the shade range is the best I've seen from any foundation for a long time. One, it's like 52 shades, but I have a whole video about their undertones and stuff that I can link, but it actually is based on human skin, and they seem like human skin colors a lot of the time. And anybody who has a medium or darker skin tone can probably tell you, especially if you're in that medium tan range, you go to look at the foundations and like there's one that's kind of close to you and you can get away with it, but none of them are quite right. And there's a bunch where you're like, I've never seen someone that's that orange or that color. Like the only people I see that orange are white people that fake tan a lot. Natural human skin is not that orange. So I really appreciate the effort that was put in for the shade range, along with the formula being perfect for me. I didn't try any new concealers really this year. I did see a bunch come out. I haven't really tried them. I just used my Kosas. My Kosas is my favorite, or the Fenty Eaze Drop. I've had 2 bottles of that, really, or Eaze Drop, no, the Fenty Bright Fix. That's what it's called. Love that. That's the one where if I want minimal coverage and you can't tell I'm wearing makeup, like if that's all I'm wearing, that one's perfect. Other ones have intrigued me, but I don't feel the need because the Kosas just works so well for me. I have 2 shades, so I can do my under eyes or my skin. I tried one new powder this year, and that is the Haus Labs powder. Works perfectly with the foundation, works perfectly with other things, with my tinted moisturizers, with the Fenty, like it works great with everything. It is the Bio Blurring Loose Setting Powder. I have the shade Golden. I kind of want to get the translucent one too, because it's like a peachy yellow tone, but it's translucent. I don't know. I think it's supposed to be the universal color. I think that would be a nice brightening color. It would also work well on my husband or my best friend if they wanted to try it, because he does wear makeup sometimes, like, you know, no makeup skin tint stuff. This is perfect though. Really love the formula. It's like a loose version, whoa there. It's like a loose version of the Kosas Cloud Set, which is my favorite pressed powder. I like the Pat McGrath under eye one that I have. Very brightening. But for all over skin and just like the texture of like reducing oiliness and shine, but not taking away the glow, I like the Kosas powder, and this does the same kind of thing. You can still see the healthy glow of my skin, but I don't look oily or shiny. So really, really love this. For the rest of my complexion products, I wanted to mention 2 bronzers. So I tried a few, because I got one from Kelly, and it is nice, and I do really like the formula of the new Melt bronzer. The color range is a little weird, but the formula is perfect. But I wanted to mention the Trixie one and the Haus Labs one. This is my go-to daily bronzer. Love it. I wear it as eyeshadow. The packaging is beautiful. I really loved my old Haus Labs bronzer, and I still have it and sometimes use it. This shade is a little more golden and just like perfect. I have the shade 8. And it's the Power Sculpt Velvet Bronzer, and it really does feel velvet. It's like that almost gel to powder. Like the highlighters are a gel to powder. This doesn't feel as gel-like. It feels like velvet to powder, and it is my hands down favorite bronzer. It's expensive. It's like 30 something. There's more expensive out there though. But like, I've tried others, I've swatched others. This is the best bronzer I've ever used. And then this is the Trixie bronzer. This is my second favorite. It is the Flower Power bronzer. So this one is cheaper. It's like 20 something and you get a big pan. Also really cute. They have 4 shades, but each one has 2 bronzers in it. And I think this is an also really beautiful formula. So this is the second shade. This is Peace Out Poppy. I almost went for the third one. I'm glad I didn't, because this is actually darker than it looked online. This is my perfect year-round color right here. And then this one has a little bit more warmth to it and depth. So during the summer, I can mix the two or just use this one. The highlighter in here looks like it would be really dark, but it actually is very skin-like on me, like a natural glow kind of highlight. I think this is a really underrated, really beautiful product. And I think more people need to try Trixie Cosmetics in general, but this is one that I think more people should try. My friend Jamila got this at the same time as me, and she was shocked at how much she loved it. This is really, really good. So I have two blush products that I want to mention. I have multiple colors in both, but I'm going to just show you one. So one is the Trixie Cosmetics Cream Bronzer. I think these are really great. They are the same kind of compact as their lipstick, basically. This is what their lipstick look like, but it's smaller. And it is a really, really lovely formula. I think it's only like $12 or $15. You get a decent amount of product. The orange one, I have the orange and I have another one. The other one, the orange is like a sheer orange, so it's like orange if you're scared of orange blush. And then the other one I have is a little more pigmented. So I know Angelica Nyquist got this one and she was like, I wish it was a little more pigmented. The other ones are, it's just the orange. I think Trixie wanted to keep it wearable for people scared of orange, but it's really beautiful. Hey, Dean. It's really beautiful. It dries down matte, doesn't budge, looks great on the skin. I think it's a really great product. You can swipe it on your skin through the stick, or you can use a brush, and then it twists up and twists back down, and it's cute. So really recommend checking these out. The other blush I want to mention is the Oden's Eye blushes. So I got a couple of these. This is the one in Orange Sunny, and it's what I have on. And it is a really nice matte orange blush. It's very pigmented, so you don't need very much. And it's a really nice color. It's supposed to be an orange brown, so it's not straight up orange. It's got a little bit of that like neutral brown to like ground it and make it a little less intimidating, especially for lighter skin tones. So really, really love these. You get a lot of product, really pretty. I think Oden's Eye just outdid themselves in this packaging. So really like this. I also have one of the highlighters in this. It's the greeny purple one. Again, beautiful formula. Really like all of these little cheek products from Oden's Eye. And then sticking with cheek products, I also want to mention the Haus Labs highlighters. So they don't have any blush. I like the blushes from their holiday collection last year and their old Amazon stuff, but I'm hoping they come up with blushes in this kind of compact sometime this year or next year, because this is also a really beautiful highlighter. So I have the shade Peach Quartz. I also have Fire Opal, which is peach, orange, and gold, and shiny because a highlighter, and it makes like a glowy blush. Perfect, really beautiful. So you can have it as like a pinpoint colorful highlighter, or use a softer brush and have it as like a glowy blush, which is what most people did. But the other shades like this one are just really beautiful, melt into the skin. It's like with one swipe you get like a glow from within perfect highlight, and then if you add a couple layers you get like blinding. So really versatile, and I like it like that. I just got the Rare Beauty highlighter and I like it, but this is better. It's more expensive, but it is better. Part of why, because I don't find this emphasizes texture, and you can do it from like natural glow to really bright, and the new Rare Beauty is just really bright. And then sticking with blush highlighter, I really have to mention the new Lethal blushes and highlighters. So they had a bunch come out as singles, and then some come out with the Teresa's Dead collab that they did earlier this year. I have two of the blushes and two of the highlighters, and I adore these. They already had blushes before, just matte blushes, but now they have glowy ones, and they are so beautiful. They are super pigmented, just like the Oden's Eye blush, but with so much glow to them. They're really beautiful. I'll swatch this one. This is the orange one, and you can see it's so vibrant, much more bright than this one. I'll actually swatch them next to each other. So you can kind of see how the other one has that little bit of brown to it. So there is the Odin's Eye and there is the Lethal. So you can see this is straight up orange and this is that orange brown. I love both of these depending on the mood I'm in. And then their newer highlighters are so pretty. This, I don't remember what shade this is, but it's a duochrome, kind of like yellowy pink. And this is the one that came out with Teresa's Dead collab, and it is the perfect like iridescent green gold. It works so well with my skin tone because I have an olivey undertone, so I have yellow and green in me, and this is just perfect. So really love these. So there is the glowy Lethal blush. So you can see it's not a highlighter, but it is very glowy, especially compared to that matte. The last couple cheap products I want to mention are the face products are the Hourglass holiday palettes. So I have the ambient lighting edit in Tiger and Elephant. I love both of these. I use this one pretty much every day, and I use this one at least once a week. These are beautiful. These are my first Hourglass products because the shade ranges have always been like skewed very much towards light to light medium skin tones. And this year they finally made them more inclusive, so I was actually willing to try. Plus, I love elephants. Like, when I was a kid, I had a giant poster of I loved elephants so much, my mom found a picture of an elephant, like an actual photograph, then had it framed and stuff, and it was like bigger than our TV. Like, it was huge on my wall. But this is such a beautiful palette. I love the finishing powders. The highlighter's really pretty and actually a lot brighter than I expected for Hourglass. The bronzer is really nice. The blushes are both pretty. The only downside is they're fairly similar, but on my skin tone, you can kind of see this one's a little more cool, but really like them. There's already a dent in the finishing powders, so like I use this a lot. And then the Tiger one, which was a gift for my birthday, is more blush highlighter. So like for me, I don't have the finishing powders because this is made for darker skin. So you've got a finishing powder for dark skin that I can use as a bronzer really beautifully. And then I've got some highlighters and blushes that are a little more, these two are pretty daily friendly. And then these are really bright. And like, if I want to really show it up on a video, because you know, it always washes it out. Even filming in natural light, I get washed out a little bit. Or if I'm like going out and I want a bright blush moment like this, I also like that these can be used as really pretty eyeshadow, so it's really good for travel. Love these. And then I think the last face product is going to be the Isamaya highlighter. So this is the Dazzle Up highlighter in Sun Chaser. There's only one shade. Have multiple videos talking about this. It's inexpensive. It's like a $42 highlighter. I have a price comparison in that, like comparing it to the Balm highlighters from Pat McGrath, but I really love this. It's a swipe of it gives you like a natural glow from within, but you can build it up and be really intense. It's just really beautiful. And like I said, I have lots of videos on this. I think it's really pretty. Do I think $42 is 100% worth it and worth it for everybody? No, but I love that I have it and I love it, so do with that as you will. So I've got lip products and eye products left. So for lip products, I have two that I want to mention that are good everyday kind of lip products, and they are the Trixie Cosmetics Bestie Balm and the Haus Labs lip oil. So this is from the original Amazon line, but this is one of the products that is identical. I think this and most of them are almost the same. Like the ingredients might have shifted a little bit because switching to Sephora, but this one, I think the ingredients list is identical. They just made the packaging nicer. I've gone through multiple of these. I wear it constantly. It looks nice over lipstick or lip liner. It looks perfect by itself. It is that whole pH thing. It's the PhD hybrid lip oil. The whole pH reactive thing is marketing. They all do the same thing. This does have a tint, and they each have a slightly different tint to them, which I do appreciate. As far as the pH thing, there's only one chemical, one ingredient that they use for pH products, and it's not reacting to your individual pH because all humans fall within the same pH range. It's very narrow, unless you're like sick or have, you know, other issues. So what it does is it says, this is the pH of the product, this is the pH of human skin, and it reacts to that, and it's like a pinky red tint. So they're all gonna have, no matter what brand, what thing you're buying, and if it says it's a pH reacting thing, it's gonna be the same color no matter what. But despite that, I still really love this product. I've tried a handful of lip oils from drugstore brands, nicer brands. This is my favorite. It's perfect. Even my husband likes it, and he doesn't like a lot of lip products. And then this is the Bestie Balm. I love this. I have 3 of them. I want them all. Well, there's one that's marshmallow scented. I don't think I need that one. Each one is a different tint. So there's like more coral, more peach, more red. I have those 3. There's a clear one as well, and each one has its own scent. So this is Dottie, which is strawberry margarita scented, and it really smells like a strawberry margarita. Like, I was shocked. And then I have Patricia is my favorite one, but I love these. I've already gone through almost a whole tube of these. This is great. It's the best lip balm I've used. It's hydrating, and it adds that little bit of sheer tint, but it's not sticky or gross, and it doesn't like immediately disappear. So really love these, and they're like $10. So I also want to mention the Trixie Cosmetics liquid lipsticks. I've mentioned these in a few videos recently because I just got a couple new ones. I love their lip gloss. Hands down my favorite lip gloss formula. I think my second favorite might be Pat McGrath, but that tells you how good these are. Especially the sheer to medium ones. Like if you're ever looking at buying the Trixie lip glosses, look at what it says. Like some of them are full coverage and it's like a shiny liquid lipstick that does transfer. But the sheer ones or the medium coverage ones, those are perfect. But this is a liquid lipstick. I have 3 colors. The first one came out with the Juno Birch collab, and the formula was perfect, but the color wasn't right. The color's a little too pinky mauve for my skin tone. Definitely made for lighter people than me, but they recently added their hot pink shade, Stacy, and then they added Red Scare, the color with Katya, and it is perfect. It is my favorite liquid lipstick. I like it better than the Lunar Beauty, which used to be my favorite. It's high, it dries down fully matte, but it's not drying. It's really comfortable. I can wear it for hours and hours without any issue. So like, if you like the Lunar Beauty one, you'll like this. And then I have a couple products from Haus Labs. So I've always liked their Le Monster matte lipsticks, but this year when they switched to Sephora, they launched new shades and reformulated slightly. They're a little creamier now, but like 99% basically the same. But the shades that I really love are the shades Current Matte and Mocha Matte. Mocha I've worn in a lot of videos, and it is, a lot of people gave it bad reviews on Sephora because it's not a dark brown and they expected that just based on the name without looking at the shade description or the actual product. People don't read. That's just a constant thing I will have an issue with. But beautiful mid-tone nude. It's like the perfect nude from my skin tone or a little bit darker. So if you're like maybe light medium to medium dark, perfect nude. It's a little dark on me, but not like, it's just so good. It's a little bit darker than the lip I'm wearing now, but not by much. Like just a hair different, and like the undertone is different. Like you can see it's the same color as the component. So love this. And then Current Matte is like a perfect current red. It's like a wearable red, a little bit of orange, a little bit of red. I love currants in general, so I had to get this, but really love this color, especially for summer. And then I have to mention what I'm wearing on my lips, which is the lip lacquer, the Atomic Shake lip lacquer. This is the shades Sepia Shine. I also have the bright red that they sent me in a giveaway, and the coral one. Really love those. This is my favorite because it's the perfect everyday shade. It's subtle, it's beautiful, it's a peachy brown, it's really pretty nude. They also have like a couple more mauve-y pink shades, and then they have the reds. The red is also perfect if you want a bold red lip that you want to last for a long time. really beautiful. I feel like an idiot when I put it on because you have to shake it, put it on, like it's got this kind of a doe foot, and it's the perfect amount for me to go one swipe, flip it over, do my upper lip. But then you have to hold your mouth open like you saw on TikTok, probably saw on TikTok, where you have to, you can't let your lips touch for like 15 seconds. And I feel like an idiot just being like, but once it's dry, it's comfortable. It looks like a lip gloss, but doesn't transfer. Feels like I'm wearing a lip gloss or something. Like I don't really feel much. Really love this. And then the last two lip products that I want to mention are the Isamaya lip gloss and lipstick. Very expensive products. This is a $30-something lip gloss, and this is a $50 lipstick. And I wish I hated these. I don't wish I hated them because I spent my money on them, and I don't want to spend that much money on something and hate it. But I hate that I love them so much. This I've worn in a few videos, especially the ones talking about Isamaya, so go check those out. It's like almost black, almost purple, and then it has a plumping effect that tinkles a little bit for like nothing like most lip plumpers. There's like a slight warm feeling for a minute or so, and it brings out the natural redness, pinkness of your lips, and makes it a little less vampy and a little more just unique and perfect. I know this has been all over social media again because I don't remember her name. The woman who said Uncut Gems really weirdly in that one viral clip.
I was Josh Safdie's muse when he wrote Uncut Gems.
Right.
So it's like going everywhere again, but it really is amazing. If you can afford it and you like that kind of grungy lip. And then the lipstick. I've worn this a handful of times in videos. I wear it off camera. If you do it really opaque, you get like a really bold lip like in my first impression video, but you can also wear it sheared out. I really want the other colors. There's like a pinky coral color and a brown, like a darker brown that's a little vampy or would be on my skin tone, and I want them. I just don't want to spend $100 on them, so hopefully there'll be a sale. But this one is the shade Outlaw, and it is this beautiful like bricky color, and it's got this gold sheen, but it doesn't look glittery on the lips, and it doesn't look, I mean, if you look up close, yeah, you can see some glitter, but it doesn't look overly metallic. Like, I've worn a metallic lipstick, and I was like, wow, that is just metal, shiny, that has a time and a place. Feel mostly for like a specific type of party, Halloween look, drag. But this just has like this beautiful plumping shine to it. I'll put a little bit on the back of my hand. You can see it's just got that nice glow and shine without being like overly glittery or metallic. So I have a glitter lipstick as well, and you definitely see individual sparkle. There's so much, and it's so fine that it just adds like a really beautiful shine and wash. Love it. Okay, so for eye products that aren't eyeshadow palettes, first I want to mention the Haus Labs eyeliners. A lot of Haus Labs in this video. They've become one of my favorite brands. I liked the Amazon products a lot, but the new products are even better. And this has nothing to do with my love for Lady Gaga. I just love the products as well. But especially the shades, this is the chartreuse one, but I also have the olive is really beautiful. And then my favorite is the Onyx Gold Shimmer. These are creamy. You get a little bit of time to smudge them out, and they even have a little brush, so you can do a smudged out wing or smudge the edges all over, or use a stiff eyeshadow brush to like blend it out a little bit. Then once they dry, they're there all day. They don't budge. They last all day. They are waterproof. They're just so good. I like the Urban Decay eyeliners, but these are better and about the same price. And now after trying the Victoria Beckham one, this is hands down my favorite eyeliner because that was not a pleasant experience. I really want the bronze shade and the dark brown, but they've been out of stock for a long time. But as soon as those are back in stock, I'm buying them. I have like 6 of these, and I adore these. They're like $22, so they're definitely more than like a ColourPop eyeliner. And the ColourPop ones are hit or miss though. Some of them come dried out, some of them don't work very well in the first place. They don't work well for me on my actual lids. They just kind of smudge and stuff. They don't set very well. But these, waterline, lower lash line, upper lash line, tight line, anything, they're great. And then sticking with Haus Labs, I also want to mention the paints. I think people were confused by these because they dry down really quickly. You need a tiny bit. I will put on the back of my hand. I could do at least one eye, if not two, with that much product and have, like, this is the cocoa color, have a brown smoky eye with just that. That's probably one eye. So 2 dots like that for both eyes, do one at a time, dries down matte, lasts all day. They also make really wonderful eyeliners. So they have some fun colors and some like shiny ones. And one of my favorite things to do is take that fun color and then just do like a kind of thick line all the way across and have it just be that fun pop of color, especially in the summer when it's too hot to really wear makeup. And lasted all day. I wore those to Pride, no issue. The white made a great white eyeliner, loved them. The blush color is a good blush. I haven't tried any of the other ones as blush because they're not really colors I want to wear as blush. I don't recommend them on your lips. You can, but they're too, it's like a really drying liquid lipstick. I don't like that feeling. And then for one and done eyeshadows, which is something I really love, I really like the old Haus Labs ones that they don't make anymore, but even better, I really love the Lisa Eldridge ones, and I just got the Victoria Beckham one, and I really love this too. So I've tried a lot of liquid eyeshadows, and most of them are trash. They sting my eyes, or they have no pigment, or they don't dry down very well. There's some issue with them no matter what, from drugstore to nicer. I have the shade Daphne, which is this olive color, and I have Anais, which is this pewter with a little bit of a green like sage to it. Really love these, really want more of these. They're like $27, which is not cheap, but like, I think worth it. As long as they don't dry out in like 6 months, I think it's fully worth it. And then, because you can use them as a wash, you can use your fingers to blend them out. I'll put a little bit on and blend it with my fingers. You can use it with mattes. They're just really great. And then I recently, like, it's been 2 weeks now since I got the Victoria Beckham one, I think. This is the shade Velvet. I really like this. I do have to use an eyeshadow primer with both these products to have them last all day, but it's so sparkly, so metallic. It's a different look on the eyes than the Lisa Eldridge. One of the Lisa Eldridge is more sparkly, and one is a little more smooth. This is a little bit more sparkle. Also $36, but you get 5 grams of product, so like, but really beautiful, and I can't wait for them to have another sale so I can get some more colors because I don't want to spend $36 on a single eyeshadow. And then the last thing before eyeshadow palettes is going to be mascara. I historically am very picky with mascaras. I tried the Rare Beauty, hated it. I tried a lot of drugstore ones, don't like any of them. They tend to be too heavy and clumpy. But my favorite has been Pat McGrath, both the Dark Star and Fetish Eyes. I think I like the Dark Star more. But both of the ones from Ismea are really lovely. This one's nice. It's a very volumizing version of the formula, but the Rubber Lash, favorite mascara. I hate that it's like $36 or something, but I will buy this again. I love this. I love the packaging. I think it's so well done, but it's what I have. It's what I wear every day. It lasts all day, even when it's misty and rainy out, even though it's not waterproof. Or doesn't claim to be. It separates my lashes, so it adds a little bit of volume, but mostly separates and makes them look longer. I find volumizing ones just tend to give you clumpy lashes, and I hate clumpy spider lashes. I don't think they look good on myself for sure, but really anybody. an editorial look, sure, but that's it. This one is volumizing, but without being clumpy. So really like these. Okay, so finally on to eyeshadow palettes. This is my weakness as far as makeup. It's what I spend most of my money on. I did get a couple of these things in PR. The rest I paid for myself. So the first thing I want to mention, which I had to double check that it was this year when I was coming up with stuff, because it feels like so long ago and so many things have come out this year. So this is the Byredo Floral Highlight Palette. I wish I had the Prismatic palette that came out last year, especially after trying this. But this is a beautiful, elegant, neutral palette. It's got a lot of different textures and finishes in it. I think it's just beautiful. I've talked about it a bunch since I got it in September. Came out in February, so I'm excited to see what this year's is, or next year's is, but I am immensely happy that I was finally able to get this for my birthday, because it sold out and it was out of stock, and I spent 6 months longing after it, and it's so pretty. It's just so pretty. That's all I can say. And then some of these shades even make nice blushes. Like, it's so good. It is a $100 palette, but it's not the only $100 palette in here. Last year me would have expected to have multiple $100 palettes in this. The next palette is going to be the Glaminatrix Nocturnal palette. This came out, I think it was technically the fall in Australia, so it was the spring here. Really beautiful palette. They are doing a final pre-sale for this right now, and then it's going to be discontinued, and you'll be able to get some of the shades as singles, I believe, but not as this palette. They're going to come out with a version 2.0 because a lot of the shades kept coming broken. Like, you can see this shade came broken and is kind of smooshed in there, and this one also came cracked but not fully broken. But this is such a beautiful color story, very me. You've got murky tones, you've got some bright blue tones, periwinkle, and the shimmers in here are so beautiful. Like, I'll swatch this one, and this one. Like, they're just so beautiful. The formula, the mattes are great. They blend really nicely. They layer up nicely. They're pigmented without being overly pigmented to start, but they blend beautifully. This is like one of those copper, it's a copper, green, gold, peach multi-chrome. Perfect, like, everyday shade for me, during the summer and fall especially. And then they're just so pretty. So I just had to make sure I talked about this, especially while it's still available for pre-order. They are an Australian brand, so you will have to pay expensive shipping if you're not in Australia, but I don't regret it. So the next two palettes I've mentioned a couple times since I got them, but they are the newer ABH palettes. I recently decluttered my Jackie Aina palette because I always liked it but never loved it, and I recently tried to use it again and I was like, nope, I don't like this. The formula is definitely different, plus it's a little old. I mean, mine was only a year old, but who knows when it was actually made. Because I got it during, they were like restocking one last time or something. But these are beautiful, earthy, neutral palettes, which is my favorite. I either want blues or earthy neutrals. This is the Nouveau palette. This was super viral on all social media, but especially YouTube. I feel like everybody was obsessed with this. And then there was some controversy because, like, wisteria is a pigment, so they had to put the eye safety warning on it. And people who had never tried a pressed pigment before, or like one of the Norvina palettes or an indie palette that's vegan, was like, it's not an eyeshadow, and they freaked out, and they're, you know, the whole Huda Beauty thing. But still really beautiful. Also, I'm glad that it, like, you know, informed people a little bit more. And then the Rose Metal palette is, I think that's gonna be a go-to for like the spring and summer for me, and this is my perfect fall winter palette. It's so pretty. I've worn this in a couple videos, almost wore it today, but I didn't. You've got terracottas, you've got olives, you've got bronzes, you've got smoky tone, like formula is amazing. The shimmers are really top-notch quality. Some of them are a little more sparkly and you might get a little fallout with if you try blending them, but some of them are smooth and you can blend the edges. Great quality. Sticking with expensive but beautiful quality, I do want to mention the Natasha Denona My Dream palette. I think this is the best thing she did this year. Yeah, it's definitely the best thing she did this year. Really love this. She's in a timeout right now because of some bad brand practices and brand behavior. But if you want to know more about that, check out my Natasha Denona ranking. But I think this is just a perfect fall, winter / all year everyday palette. You've got cool tones, you've got neutral, like cooler tones, warmer tones, you've got satins and like one and done shades, you've got sparkly shades, you've got a multi-chrome. It's like a best of all of her textures, all of the different standard formulas and things. Like it's just so good. This was definitely high up in my ranking. So I want to talk about a little handful of indie palettes real quick. I tried to narrow this down, but I couldn't. I mean, I did, but like, I just couldn't narrow it down anymore. So the first one I mentioned is the Gourmand Girls Ethereal palette. I did get this sent to me in PR. I tried a handful of all shimmer palettes this year. It seems to be a big trend this year. This is my favorite by far. I think the formula is beautiful. I think the color selection is perfect. You've got some more autumnal, like more grungy tones, like this shade Ethereal is my favorite. Like so pretty. It's like green bronze. There's a little bit of like a taupe to it. You've got some more bluey tones, some purple tones, some like this radiant shade. So look at that. That's so pretty. This is what I wanted from the Dragon Fruit palette from Cliona. I wanted to put at least one of those shades on my lids and be like, but this gave me that. So very thankful I got that sent to me in PR. The next palette I have to mention is the Lethal Cosmetics Wild. So the next palette I have to mention is the Lethal Cosmetics Wildflower. It's been out of stock a lot this year because it's been so popular. I love Lethal Cosmetics. I really like their new collab with Teresa is Dead. I think that is a beautiful palette. Congrats, Teresa. But this is my favorite thing they've done this year. Probably this is on par with favorite palette from them with Velvet Dusk. It's so beautiful. I tried the One Up palette. I tried some other stuff from them too, but this has been my favorite. It's the perfect purple palette, but it's not just purple. You've got these blue tones, you've got more cool neutral mauve tones. It's so beautiful. Love their formula. And these shades are just so pretty. Like look at that purple gold. And then another small indie brand that I did want to mention is Fantasy Cosmetica. I tried 2 of the 3 palettes this year. I don't have a code with them, but there are some out there. And this is their Bard palette. This is so good. I love the Druid. It's very green, which you know I'm gonna love. But this just stole my heart, especially Lore, which is this multi-chrome of blue, it's like turquoise, blue, green, gold. It's so pretty. I love the mattes in here worked really nicely. Not my absolute favorite, but still really nice. The rest of the shimmers are also beautiful, multiple special shades, but this shade in particular, just everything I want in a special shimmer. Like, I don't think I need to use a special shimmer like this every day. I wear a lot of satins and stuff too, but when I want a special shade, I want something like this. This is so beautiful. Plus, Fantasy Cosmetica is local to me here in Seattle. They're in Redmond, which is just across the lake. So the owner, Jordan, seems very lovely, so really love this. And then I wanted to mention, and I feel bad for mentioning this because it is almost Christmas and these are sold out, but the Odin's Eye Christmas palettes, best holiday palettes of the year, best Christmas palettes I've ever seen. These are beautiful. I also really liked their Hella palette with Angelica Nyquist. I'd mentioned that a lot. These are so special. I don't like red and green as a color combo. I've said that dozens of times not just about Christmas, but in general. But this is a very well done version of that. It is so pretty. The shimmers in this are all really special and unique, and why I wanted this. I saw Lauren May Beauty swatch the shimmers, and when I saw like the different undertones and shifts and stuff in them, I was like, okay, sold on that one. One of those times an influencer influenced. And then the Christmas Eve palette is, I think, just perfect. It doesn't really say Christmas to me. It seems more Hanukkah / just winter holiday. New Year's, makes me think of New Year's, but blue, olivey, bronze, green, purple, so good. So, would not be a best of without mentioning that. Okay, so I also really want to mention, I did buy Melt Gemini and Rust this year, but those are not new palettes. Adore those. But Gemini 2 came out this year, and I really love this. I think this is the perfect rose-colored palette, or rose-themed palette. Most rose palettes go too pink or too bright red, and bright, kind of almost lime green. Not a color combo. I think Kermit, Miss Piggy when I see those. Not a color combo I want to wear. This is earthy, it's darker. On my skin tone, all of these are very distinct. Like you can see, that's more peachy, this is more neutral, this is like a pale rose, this is a deeper rose. I've seen some people who are lighter than me say that these, especially these two, just kind of blend together. On me and my olive undertone, very distinct, which makes sense because Melt, Laura, one of the CEOs and owners of Melt, is also Hispanic, also Mexican American. So you've got olives, it's just so beautiful. I think this is so well done. Really love this palette. Really love the mattes in here. The shimmers are nice too, especially Mateo, that dark olive. Do like the peachy, rosy tones with that dark olive shimmer. So good. Only got a couple here left. So I've got a few palettes here left that I just had to mention. Could not do a best of without mentioning the Nomad Hudson Valley. I feel like a broken record. I adore this palette. I like all of the palettes they came out with this year. They did send them to me in PR, and I think they are all beautiful in their unique color stories, and each one has at least a handful of shades that I want to use all the time. But most of them were more colorful. The Whistler Snow Lodge probably be second place on this list, honorable mention. But this one, especially because of the location, the Hudson Valley, the Northeast, which feels like home to me, and kind of is, the colors in here, I just cannot talk about this enough. So good. I haven't used it that much on camera, but I've used it a lot off camera. Really love this. Some of their best mattes. I mean, the shimmers in here are beautiful too, but the mattes, it's mostly matte, so it's really the standout of it. And then I can't not mention the Serenity palette from Cosmic Brushes. Everyone lost their shit for this palette, and I understand why. It is beautiful. The mattes are really pigmented, blend nicely. The shimmers are pretty. It's only $20 plus, international shipping, but still it's under $30 for a really beautiful palette. They have another one that's more like warm tones. That one doesn't speak to me, but I'm really excited to see what they come with in 2023. So if the owner ever sees this, I just want them to know, amazing palette, and I'm excited to see what you do next. This would be these two palettes from Trixie Cosmetics. I really like their eyeshadow formula. I think these were really well done. The Juno Birch collab is a pretty much all matte palette, really unique colors, really beautiful formula. This is a highlighter, not really an eyeshadow, more a highlighter. Black, white, some neutrals, some colors. I love these tones of purple and blue, so really, this is one of my favorite palettes of the year. And then the Team Katya one, there's the Team Trixie as well, which I also really love, but this is like so well done. It's got like your staple neutrals like cream, brown, dark brown, black, and then like some bronzy tones, but then you've got the pink, the gold, the red, these really nice blue shades. These are really good blues, both blue matte and blue shimmer. Highly underrated. Okay, now that I feel like I've been talking for forever, I thought about trying to do a really curated list, but I just couldn't do it. This is curated enough, and these are all the things that I love. So why not talk about them? The second to last thing I want to mention is both of the Eyeshadow palettes. These have been on my channel a lot, especially since I got them in the last few months. This is the Wild Star palette that should start shipping for me in a couple of days. There was a pre-order. They said it would start shipping around Christmas, but they just updated to the 15th. So by the time this video is up, it'll probably already shipped if you have it pre-ordered. Really beautiful, neutral with a twist. You've got a bunch of duochromes. You've got blue and purple. This purple is like it's a little more of a mid sheer, like it's not fully sheer. It's got like a kind of a base. And she said there's a little bit of brown in there to kind of ground it. It's got a hot pink that's really beautiful. Really nice black. The mattes in here are beautiful, beautiful mattes. Kind of like this, I said this in my video review of it, which is like 45 minutes long because it was very detailed. Pigmentation level of a Viseart matte, where you get really good blendability and buildability, but you might have to layer it 2 or 3 times to get the color you want. But like the silkiness of a Kaleidos matte versus the dryness of a Viseart matte. And then the Industrial is what I have on my eyes, and it is, I know I'm mentioning it second to last, but I think this is my favorite palette of the year. This is so interesting. It's so fun to use. The formula is amazing. It's very creative and painterly. It makes me want to use it. It makes me, I just want to keep going back to it. I can do a very wearable, daily friendly look. I can do something really bold and shiny. I love the different textures and finishes in here. Today I did this matte black, which is a putty shade. So I put that putty along my lash line and out here. And then I have a little bit of this bronzy brown blended over that. And then I have this acid green all over my lid with a little bit of this more murky green over here to blend it into the black and add that little bit of shift and dimension. And then I have the shade here, which is one of those wet effect shades, but green. And I have that all up here from my brow, like literal black brow bone to my brow and on my inner corner. So you can see it like packed versus here. I just used my one rougher brush for basically, I used a rougher pencil brush for this and here, and then one rougher shader brush for everything else. And you can really see that wet effect up here. I love this palette. This is my top palette of the year. And then also wanted to mention Pat McGrath's last palette. I really love this. I feel like it had better reviews than Utopian Dream. And I do really like her holiday palettes. They're really nice, but this was the standout for me. It's so beautiful, cool tones. You've got a rosewood shade, rosy shade. You've got a plummy shade. Some people say they look too similar. On me, they're pretty distinct. So I think it depends on your skin tone, color-wise and undertone-wise. The shimmers in here are not her normal baked formula, but they are really beautiful. And just as sparkly. I love these. This is a really nice one and done shade, and you can see how much sparkle is in these. So had to mention this too. But if I was ranking them, this would be number 1. Okay, so that is my best of. This is gonna be a long video, probably over an hour. Sorry about that if you don't like long videos. But thank you so much for watching, especially if you got to the end of it. Let me know what your favorites were of the year. I'd love to hear what your favorite palettes or favorite products were, especially if you don't have a channel. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I have a bunch of stuff already filmed that I'm working on editing. So this should go up this weekend. I want this one to go up before those. And then I should have basically a video per day until Christmas, and then maybe one more by the end of the year. So thank you so much for all of the support I got on this channel this year, and for just being so nice and so great. So thank you again. As always, thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.